All right, good evening. Just saw Bronson's video regarding First John and also then he went to John. So we have here is the King James in English, and then you have the Greek here. Um, what I want to see is his understanding. He says the word is treats the word as a thing. Um, here. Uh, Language has rules, and basically, like for example, a verb. You have action verbs and then you have non-action verbs. Uh, for instance, here was is a non-action verb. You have am, like for example, I am human. So in that instance, it's not an action, but it's still a verb. Then you have the definite article, the, and then you have the word. So a noun, which as you can see here, the pop-up, a noun can be a person, place, or thing. So this noun is either going to be a person, place, or thing. Cannot be a place or a person, cannot be a place, anything at the same time. It's either one of the three. And so based on the first verse of John, you will not find out what this is. Is it a person? Is it a place? Or is it a thing? First verse by itself, you're not gonna know. All we have here is just word, the word. You have the definite article. Right here, here's another noun, the beginning. So this would be a thing. It's not a person. It's not a place. I mean, where would the location of a, yeah, it's a thing. It's time, a beginning. So you have this noun, and you can identify it's a thing. So then you have God. Obviously, I don't think anyone's gonna argue this is a person. It's not a place or a thing. God is a person. He's a noun. So you have two nouns. You have this noun here, and then you have this one. They're different because it's a normative masculine singular, and then you have this one. So the interesting thing about this, you see God here, God here, they're two different nouns. They're not the same noun because this noun is identifying the word. And so you have two different nouns here. Now, when you go to verse 2, it identifies what the word is. Is it a person, place, or thing? And the first, in the King James, what is it? He. So automatically you can cut off place. This noun is not a place, nor this is a thing. So the only thing that's left over that this word is a he. And what's interesting is that in this time, this noun here, this thing, in the beginning, he was already here. This verb identifies the status of this noun when this event happened. When creation happened, the word was already here. So that means this word is not part of creation. This, like God, is eternal. So He was a he before the beginning began. So you have two people here in the beginning. They were there already. And to make the proof even stronger, we go to verse 14. And the word was made flesh, became flesh. And so I don't think anyone's going to argue here that here, as a person in flesh, this is not a thing. At this moment in time, verse 14, when that happened and he put on flesh, he was a person. So he was a person before anything began, and when he put on flesh, he was still a person. So I don't understand. And this approach that I'm doing, it's not based on theology. It's based on the rules of language. What is a definite article? A noun, a verb, you know, preposition. What is that? They have definitions. They have rules. Uh, you you can follow this in English, and the same rule. Even if you go to the Greek, it's the same thing. A noun is a person, place, or thing. It's never all three or two of the three. A noun is one of the three, and you have to pick. And based on language, not theology, based on language, this word is a person, just like God is a person. I assume, I mean, obviously, I can't see here, but I assume this is the Father. Could be the Holy Spirit. It doesn't identify, but I, my opinion here is that this is the Father. Just, uh, but do I have proof that this is either Holy Spirit or the Father? I don't. I'm just assuming on educated guess. This is the Father. So the Word, the Son, was a He before the beginning was, and He. People are with people. You don't really have a thing being with a person. This preposition, uh, based on its usage, is a relationship type of thing. People have relationships with other people. I mean, it's weird to apply that use of language to a thing. It's even more weird if you try to be with a place. Uh, you could use that slang. Yeah, I am with Israel. Um, that's more like I'm with the people of Israel, or I'm with America. You're not with the actual America. You're with people. Um, so this is a relationship thing. That's why, like, it's strange to think that this is a thing when you have he, a pronoun identifying the word, and then with a person. Yeah, this would be weird based on rules of language. If this is a thing or a place, you can't really have it with people. You know, people have are with other people. Um, yeah, and that's my observation. I don't see how. Yeah, with theology you can make up a lot of things. I think the best thing to do is you go with the language, you find out what the rules of language is, and whichever theology is closest to the rules of language is probably the best theology that fits with it. Based on this as being a word, and he was a he, before anything was created, and when he put on flesh, he was still a he. He was still a person. Uh, the Trinity fits that. It's plausible that you can see this with the Trinity fitting with the rules of language, but it's really hard to do this with oneness or anything that's Unitarian. Um, this, I mean, based on language, this is not a thing, nor it's a place. When you cross those out, you're left with it's a person. Like the beginning, it's not a person, it's not a place. It's a thing. It's time. Like, how can you argue it differently? So that's my thoughts. I just um I don't see the the sequential logic of Bronson on this. This is a person. It was a person before the beginning, based on the rules of language, not theology. And it was a person, you know, once flesh was put on. And this word is Jesus Christ. All right. Bronson, if you want to critique and give me your thoughts based on the rules of language, by all means, I would love to hear it. Thank you.